Some of these mushrooms can kill you with a single bite. And the worst part? They look completely harmless. Here are 7 deadly mushrooms you should never eat. What you're about to hear isn't a list of scary facts you'll forget by tomorrow. These are real cases, real people, hikers, foragers, even trained chefs, who made one small mistake. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, which mushrooms are the most dangerous on Earth, and why the deadliest ones are almost impossible to identify without a lab test. Stay with me. This one could literally save your life. Number 1. The death cap. Amanita phalloides. Let's start with the one responsible for more mushroom fatalities than any other species on the planet. It looks like something you'd find at a farmer's market. Pale, smooth, almost elegant. And that is exactly what makes it so dangerous. Here's a story that should stop you cold. In 2016, a family in Sacramento, California, recent immigrants from Laos, foraged mushrooms from a local park. They were experienced foragers back home. They knew what they were looking for. But the death cap looked nearly identical to a species they'd eaten safely for decades in Southeast Asia. They cooked it. They ate it together. 3 of them nearly died. One, a 17-year-old girl, required a liver transplant to survive. The death cap contains amatoxins, compounds that don't just poison you, they destroy your liver cells slowly. And here's the cruel part. You won't feel sick right away. Symptoms can take 6 to 24 hours to appear. By the time you know something's wrong, the damage is already done. There is no antidote. Treatment is supportive care and, in severe cases, organ transplant. This single species accounts for roughly 90% of all mushroom-related deaths worldwide. But the death cap isn't even the most toxic mushroom on this list. That title belongs to something far less famous. Number 2. The destroying angel. Amanita bisporigera. If the death cap is a quiet killer, the destroying angel is death dressed in white. This mushroom is strikingly beautiful, pure white from cap to base. It genuinely looks like something sacred, and it grows in the same forests you hike through on weekends. The confusion it causes is deadly. It's been mistaken for edible puffballs, edible button mushrooms, and edible species of amanita. Even experienced foragers have been fooled. 1 gram of destroying angel, less than a single bite, contains enough amatoxin to kill an adult human. Let that sit for a second. If you're ever foraging and you pull up a pure white mushroom, look at the base. The destroying angel grows from a cup-like structure called a volva, buried just under the soil. If you see that, you put it down and you walk away. You don't smell it, you don't taste test it, you walk away. And speaking of things hiding in plain sight, the next mushroom on this list has been killing people not in wild forests, but in suburban backyards. Number 3. The autumn skullcap. Galerina marginata. This one doesn't look like a killer, and that ordinariness is precisely the trap. The autumn skullcap is small, brown, unremarkable. It grows on rotting wood across North America, Europe, and Asia, including on backyard stumps, garden borders, and decorative wood chip beds. And it carries the exact same liver-destroying amatoxins as the death cap. Here's the story that haunts mycologists. In 2010, a man in Oregon, an experienced forager with years in the field, was hunting for psilocybe mushrooms. He knew the habitat. He knew the season. He found what he was looking for, or thought he did. Growing on the same decaying log, inches apart, were Galerina marginata, the autumn skullcap. Visually indistinguishable to the naked eye without spore prints or microscopy. He didn't catch the difference. He survived, but only because he reached emergency care in time and his doctors knew exactly what they were treating. He spent days in intensive care. His liver took months to recover. If you forage for any small brown mushroom, for any reason, spore prints are not optional. They are the minimum standard. A white spore print on a brown mushroom changes everything. Galerina produces a rusty brown print that tells the truth when the cap won't. One simple test, one extra step. The difference between a story you tell later and one that gets told about you. And if you think the mushrooms we've covered so far are disturbing, the next one operates on a completely different timeline. This one doesn't make you sick in hours, not in days. It waits, patiently, for weeks. Number 4. The webcap mushrooms. Cortinarius, rubellus, and orellanus. The webcaps are a genus of mushrooms found mostly across Europe and North America. They're not particularly striking, earthy tones, cobweb-like gills, but they carry a toxin called orellanine, and orellanine is uniquely, almost sadistically, delayed. Here's the story that defines this mushroom. In 1952, a Polish physician named Dr. Stanislaw Grzymala investigated a mysterious outbreak of kidney failure in a local community. Dozens of people were sick. Nobody could figure out why. The culprit turned out to be webcap mushrooms, foraged and eaten weeks earlier. Weeks. The symptoms had taken that long to surface. Orellanine causes progressive kidney destruction, and because the onset can be delayed up to 3 weeks, people rarely connect the mushroom to their illness. By the time a diagnosis is made, severe and often permanent kidney damage has already occurred. If you ever experience unexplained kidney pain or declining kidney function weeks after a foraging trip, tell your doctor immediately what you ate. That information could change your treatment entirely. Time is everything with orellanine poisoning. We're halfway through this list, and what comes next is the mushroom that surprises people the most. Not because of how deadly it is, but because of where it grows, and how many people eat it without ever realizing what it is. Number 5. The false morel, Gyromitra esculenta. The true morel is one of the most prized edible mushrooms in the world. Chefs pay high prices for them. Foragers wait all spring to find them. They're delicious. The false morel looks like their evil twin. Same wrinkled, irregular cap, same habitat, same season. But the false morel contains a compound called gyromitrin, which converts in your body to monomethylhydrazine, a chemical so toxic it's used as rocket fuel. Here's what makes this worse. Some people eat false morels and feel fine. Toxin levels vary by geography, season, and preparation. Some cultures in Eastern Europe have eaten them for generations, parboiled and dried to reduce the gyromitrin content. But the margin for error is razor thin, and deaths still occur. If you're foraging morels, learn the difference cold. True morels have a completely hollow interior when sliced vertically. False morels are partially or fully filled. That one check could save your life. And now we arrive at what I'd call the most fascinating mushroom on this list. Not the most deadly, but the one with the strangest history, the deepest mythology, and a toxin that has shaped human civilization in ways most people never learn about. Number 6. The fly agaric, Amanita muscaria. You've seen this mushroom your entire life. It's in Super Mario. It's in Alice in Wonderland. It's in Christmas decorations. It is one of the most recognized images in human culture. And most people have no idea it's psychoactive, historically significant, and potentially fatal in high doses. The fly agaric contains ibotenic acid and muscimol, compounds that cause delirium, hallucinations, and in large quantities, seizures and death. Indigenous Siberian shamans used it ritually for centuries. Some historians believe it may be the mysterious soma referenced in ancient Vedic texts. There are serious academic arguments that it influenced early Norse berserker warriors. And yet, it also grows in suburban parks, in your neighborhood, right now, possibly within walking distance of where you're sitting. The fly agaric is not uniformly lethal in small doses, but its toxicity varies wildly by specimen and region. Do not assume the famous red cap makes it identifiable. There are white and yellow variants that look nothing like the storybook version. And do not assume cultural familiarity makes it safe. This mushroom has killed people who thought they knew exactly what they were doing. One mushroom left, and this one is different from everything we've covered. Because it doesn't just have a warning attached to it, it has a name, a family, a story you won't forget. Number 7. The deadly webcap, Cortinarius speciosissimus, and the story of Nicholas Evans. In 2008, best-selling author Nicholas Evans, the man who wrote The Horse Whisperer, was vacationing in the Scottish Highlands with his family. They were educated, worldly, careful people. During a walk, they foraged what they believed were ceps, porcini mushrooms, one of the most beloved edible species in Europe. They were webcap mushrooms, Cortinarius speciosissimus. All 4 adults ate them: Nicholas Evans, his wife, his brother-in-law, his sister-in-law. All 4 went into kidney failure. Evans later described watching his family deteriorate while not understanding what was happening. The nausea arriving slowly, the confusion, the hospital, the dawning realization that something they ate in a peaceful Scottish forest had quietly destroyed their kidneys. Evans himself spent years on dialysis. His daughter donated one of her kidneys to save him. He wrote about it later. He said that he felt he had handed his family a death sentence over a meal he had been proud to prepare. The payoff here isn't a foraging tip. It's something simpler and harder to shake. Expertise is not protection. Confidence is not verification. Nicholas Evans had resources, intelligence, and years of experience in the outdoors. None of it mattered when he picked up the wrong mushroom in the wrong light on the wrong afternoon. The only protection is certainty, and certainty in the forest takes more than a glance. So here's what you now know that most people don't. The deadliest mushroom in the world looks like a grocery store mushroom. The second deadliest is pure white and nearly perfect. One of them takes 3 weeks to make you sick. One of them grows in your backyard. And one of them helped shape ancient human mythology. Foraging is a skill, a real, learnable, deeply rewarding skill. But it demands respect. It demands patience. And it demands that you never eat anything you are not 100% certain about. Not 90%, not 99, 100. If this video made you think differently about what's growing out there, that's the point. Nature doesn't warn you. It doesn't label the dangerous ones. That's your job. If you want to keep going, there's a video right here on edible wild mushrooms that are actually safe to forage and how to find them. Worth your time. And if you're not subscribed yet, now's a good moment. We cover the natural world the way it deserves to be covered. Seriously. The forest has been here longer than we have. It doesn't need to warn us. It just waits.